My name is Kieran and I'm a data analyst that's been in the cryptocurrency space since 2015. I'll also be sharing you with these fundamentals why I believe a $10 ADA price at the peak of this bull run is definitely not out of the question. If you're a regular to the channel, then welcome back. If you're a new viewer, then welcome. If you're looking for unbiased, trustworthy cryptocurrency news delivered to you weekly, then I highly recommend hitting the subscribe button as well as hitting the bell notification icon, because YouTube does like to gatekeep this information from you, and I definitely don't want you to miss on time-sensitive content. Since your time is precious, I'll get down to the nitty-gritty meat of this video. I don't want to make you wait any longer, and I'll start with my personal Cardano price prediction. This is definitely filled with a lot of hopium. This is definitely not financial advice. Based on the bullish fundamentals as outlined in this video, I believe the ADA price will be around $3 to $4 in June, July 2021, and at $10 at the peak of this bull cycle. These personal price predictions are only possible if the Cardano teams stay on track with the updates without any delays as outlined in the Cardano roadmap. Furthermore, if they stay true to the Cardano vision, that means onboarding hundreds of millions of people onto the Cardano blockchain and a flourishing DeFi ecosystem, and this DeFi space experiences the same growth as it did on the Ethereum ecosystem, then I see it likely possible that the ADA price can reach a price tag of $32 by 2025, which would place it at a $1 trillion market cap, and a $100 price tag by 2030, which would place it at a $3 trillion market cap. Now, you might think that these price targets are crazy and a $1 trillion or $3 trillion market cap is just out of this world and definitely not possible. I'd like to remind you that Bitcoin, even though it took 10 years, it just recently surpassed the $1 trillion market cap. And I think that is just crazy, and it shows what kind of possibilities other cryptocurrencies can have as long as they offer value and usage to a lot of people around the world. If you like the content so far and you also want more Cardano content, then make sure to leave a like on the video. Leaving more likes means I'll be making more Cardano content, so definitely leave a like. It takes 2 seconds, it's free, and it helps me out a lot. In the next few sections, I'll be outlining a few bullish reasons why I believe Cardano is one of the best investments for 2021. And if you're not too familiar with what Cardano is and what it can achieve, then I highly recommend that you pay close attention to the next few minutes. Cardano is striving to bank the unbanked. Around 25% of the people worldwide, or 1.7 billion people, do not have access to banking solutions, and Cardano is trying to solve that. So basically, Cardano is creating a financial operating system, financial base layer for a decentralized financial ecosystem. So basically, on top of this base layer, this foundation, many different decentralized financial solutions will live, and these will give financial services to people all around the world with low entry barriers. That means anyone, even in third world countries, can have access to lending, borrowing, loans, and many other solutions with just a mobile phone. Now, you might be wondering, how is Cardano even going to be able to do that? A very important milestone has been achieved with the Mary protocol update. The Mary hard fork update happened on the 1st of March. So this is all good and dandy, but what does that mean for you as a Cardano investor? And what does it mean for many people all around the world, as well as the DeFi space that will hopefully soon be flourishing on the Cardano blockchain? So the first bullish reason, and I think this is incredibly important, is that with the Mary update and the introduction of native assets, Cardano is most likely going to be winning the stablecoin race. I think it's really important first to understand how native tokens work on the Cardano blockchain and quickly compare them with how they work on the Ethereum blockchain. Let's have a quick look at this token standard feature comparison. And here on the left hand side, you've got the Cardano native tokens, and on the right hand side, you've got Ethereum ESC20 token standards. Now, there are many other token standards on Ethereum, but ESC20 is the main one. So what I think is super important is the relationship to the blockchain. So with Cardano, the native tokens are native, like the name says. Most functionality is built into the ledger itself. So the native tokens on Cardano don't rely on smart contracts, whereas on the Ethereum blockchain, all of the tokens standards on smart contracts, and it's a standard that you copy and paste, and then you change it depending on what kind of functionality your token should have on the Ethereum blockchain. When talking about the transfer logic, it's provided by the Cardano ledger for Cardano, and it's created by copy pasting from the ESC20 template. That means that you can already have a DAO on most native assets on the Cardano blockchain without having to create that separately. I think this part here is really important, the smart contract not required to transfer tokens, and that is indeed possible because the native tokens are not reliant on smart contracts on Cardano, but they are basically smart contracts on Ethereum. I think this is important because on Ethereum, smart contract calls are more expensive than ETH to ETH transactions. So if you want to send an ESC20 token to someone else, it's going to cost you a lot more than sending an ETH transaction to someone else, as well as a smart contract call is going to cost even more. And as you can see, it can clog up the whole system if many people are sending ESC20 tokens or calling different smart contracts. And you have situations like the CryptoKitties that happened back in 2017 and many other occurrences. So can be transferred alongside other tokens? Yes. So you've got the possibility to send multiple native assets in a single transaction. And I think what is really cool is no special fees required to transfer. And I'll get also into that more in just a bit. And basically, the simple explanation is that if you've got a stablecoin on the Cardano blockchain, you can actually send that stablecoin to someone else and you pay the fee in that stablecoin. You do not have to have ADA in your wallet. Now, on the Ethereum blockchain, if I want to send an ESC20 token or an NFT to someone else, I'm going to have ETH in my wallet. And I think this ease of use is going to be massive because I have to explain to a lot of people when they start with Ethereum, you always have to have some ETH in your wallet in order to send tokens. And it does add a layer of complexity. Now, of course, most of my subscribers are super smart and so on, but I think what is truly important is that blockchain becomes inclusive for everyone. It doesn't really matter what kind of education you've got. So the easier you make it, the more people will be able to be onboarded. I think it's really important because to follow Cardano's vision and bank the unbanked, it's really important to make sending stablecoins and assets as easy as possible. And yeah, it becomes rather cumbersome if they have to buy another asset in order to send the first asset. And stablecoins are a massive deal. So last week, the total market capitalization of stablecoins surpassed $50 billion as users are continuing to demand more and more stablecoin usage and storing them and transferring them on public blockchains. However, at the moment, the fees to transfer stablecoins on the Ethereum blockchain is pretty high. And this is definitely a massive hindrance for people maybe only earning $20 or $30 a month, and definitely not something that is for people living in underprivileged countries. What I think is also incredibly exciting is if you look at the stablecoin trend growth over the past 12 months. In the last 12 months, stablecoins have transacted over $1.5 trillion in volume. And what is even more bullish is that in Q1 2021, stablecoins are on track to surpass $1 trillion. So that's a massive exponential growth, and I wouldn't be surprised. By the end of 2021, we're more likely at 10 or even 15 trillion of transacted volume in stablecoins. I believe stablecoins is one of the few applications that are running on public blockchains with a multi-trillion market. So if you look at the US dollar accounting for about 55% of the world's international transactions, there's a large structural global demand for US dollars. And what is incredible is that the offshore dollar market is difficult to estimate, but it's probably at around 57 trillion US dollars. That might sound crazy, but this is the market Stablecoins is starting to move into. 57 trillion US dollars, and at the moment it's barely at 1 trillion US dollars in Q1 2021. Let me know in the comments below if you're part of the Cardano army by typing Cardanian. Even though there's a lot of hype and support for the Merry hard fork, it's definitely only a stepping stone to Plutus and smart contracts that will come with the Alonso hard fork. That's like the biggest update that should come, and it will propel us into the Goguen era. Now you may be wondering, what does Alonso mean for the Cardano blockchain, as well as for you as another investor? The third hard fork is called Alonso, and it will introduce smart contracts, and I think this is fantastic, and it should take place in Q2 2021. Unfortunately, there are no dates given, and this is fantastic because with smart contracts, a lot of DeFi apps will be able to be implemented onto the Cardano blockchain. So the Alonso fork goes live, will be officially in the Goguen era, and the DeFi space can start developing and thriving on the Cardano blockchain. What I think is also really cool is that the Cardano project is designed to attract as many developers as possible with Yele and KVM. People don't really only have to know Solidity, but they can also start developing apps with Solidity, but also with many other high-level programming languages. If you know someone that is new to the cryptocurrency space and can benefit from this information, make sure that you share this video with them, as you'll be doing them a massive favor, and they will be also probably thanking you in the future. If the information I've already provided is not enough, here's what you can also expect for 2021. Make sure you fasten your seatbelts, as this is going to be a wild ride. You've got Voltaire decentralized governance. No date given, but hopefully by the end of the year. I'm also looking forward to Hydra. Each Hydra can process over 1,000 transactions per second. I think this is pretty cool because it's incredible layer 2 scalability solution. And if you multiply this 1,000 by the amount of pools that exist on the Cardano blockchain, that brings us to 1 million TPS. Now, of course, we don't really need 1 million TPS at the moment, but when the DeFi space explodes, then 1 million TPS is definitely going to become handy. Full Prism integration. I think this is really cool. Atala Prism is a decentralized identity solution built on the Cardano blockchain. Then you've got Cardano Catalyst. It's the largest DAO treasury, and they've got a massive amount of funds. And this is really cool because you've got a lot of super smart people around the world that can develop stuff, but they might not really have the funds to start it, and they can start developing by receiving funds from the Catalyst treasury. Last but not least is the ESC20 Converter, which I believe is a game changer for the DeFi space. It will definitely help kickstart the DeFi ecosystem on the Cardano blockchain. It will allow developers to pour their dApps or projects from the Ethereum blockchain onto Cardano. And I think this is great because at the moment it's really expensive to interact with smart contracts on Ethereum. Users don't really want to pay $50, $100 for a smart contract call. And that means a lot of users are excluded from these financial services. I mean, there are many people around the world that don't really live in first world countries. They might only be earning $100 or $200 a month, and they still want to benefit and lend their tokens. And the Cardano blockchain is going to be targeting those users. And I think there's a massive user base that will benefit from that. From a fundamentals perspective, I believe Ethereum is a fantastic investment and a good hedge to Ethereum. Now, of course, I understand now I will be stepping on a lot of Ethereum maximalist toes. But in my opinion, maximalists, doesn't really matter if Bitcoin maximalists or Ethereum maximalists, all of them are toxic. I think it's possible in the future that we'll be moving towards a multi-chain environment. So you're going to have many different blockchain foundations running in parallel and also being interoperable. So that was my vision. I don't think there's going to be a one winner takes all scenario. I think you're going to have many different chains. By investing into Cardano, you're basically investing into the future DeFi ecosystem that will be running on the Cardano blockchain. And I think this is really, really incredible. And you don't always have such an opportunity. There are definitely a lot of risks involved with investing into newer blockchains because they don't really have the track record. So Ethereum has a massive track record, experience, it's been battle tested, it's also got a massive network effect. However, the Cardano teams have been delivering on their promises, delivering updates after updates with little to no delays, which I think is incredible bullish. Last but not least, and I think this is really important for short-term investors, and that is Cardano has not yet been listed on Coinbase. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll catch you in the next one. Have a good one. Bye-bye.